Hello.
Okay, got it.
Hello.
They coming in on the.
Hello. Hello.
We do apologize for the little hiccup. So now the Assembly will resume its sitting. Clark?
No, yeah. A bill for appropriation 2024, Act 2023, first reading.
Members recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that a bill shortly entitled "A Bill for Appropriation 2024 Act 2023" be read a first time.
Madam Speaker, I rise a second.
It has been moved and seconded that a bill shortly entitled "A Bill for Appropriation 2024 Act 2023" be read a first time. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. I call upon the clerk to read the bill a first time.
An act to authorize expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of Anguilla for the services of the Government of Anguilla for the financial year ending the 31st day of December 2024.
Bill read the first time.
A bill for appropriation 2024, Act 2023, second reading.
Yeah.
Second reading.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I know to sit when you are speaking so that I don't get reprimanded and thrown out of the House. Madam Speaker, distinguished members of the House of Assembly, esteemed members of the gallery, clerk, staff of the House, specially invited guests, and I must say, it's a beautiful hue of blue down there in the gallery, Madam Speaker. Dedicated public servants, members of the media, and people of Anguilla, those listening and watching. I extend to you all a heartfelt and warm good day. And I pray that the coming year bless each one of us with good health, safety, joy, and prosperity. As we forge ahead into 2024, Madam Speaker, we embrace a renewed vision and mission. And so it is with great pride that I present this year's budget under the theme, Anguilla's Blueprint, Harnessing Technology, Empowering Tomorrow's Leaders, and Building the Future. And some persons may ask, Madam Speaker, what's the reason for doing a budget speech? And I must say that this is what we all should be looking at as we determine the future for the next year. The budget is important for successive generations. Every budgetary statement must be a moment of looking forward for Anguilla, and it must present stimuli for this country and for growth, the debt and the initiatives. Madam Speaker, this theme, Anguilla's Blueprint, Harnessing Technology, Empowering Tomorrow's Leaders, and building the future encapsulates our drive towards integrating technology into the fabric of our society, our commitment to nurturing and empowering our young minds who will lead us into tomorrow, and our firm resolve to build sustainable infrastructures that will serve as pillars of our future prosperity. Madam Speaker, this 2024 budget heralds significant levels of investment in our physical infrastructure, which will enhance the productive capacity of Anguilla. In the spirit of forthrightness, and with the clarity that our situation demands, let us address the long-standing issue of our airport development. We stand at a juncture where our actions today will define our tomorrow. There is an evocative African proverb that states, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now." And Madam Speaker, this proverb encapsulates the essence of time and its relationship with action. For decades, we have espoused the centrality of airport development in Anguilla as an essential prerequisite to sustainable growth. However, this year's budget marks a turning point, a departure from decades of inaction in this regard. The redevelopment of our airport is a symbol of our commitment to turning promises into reality, a commitment to unlocking the full potential of our tourism sector, and a step towards the economic transformation of Anguilla. But the investment does not cease there. This budget promises road upgrades, the continued development of the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School, and other investments in critical physical infrastructure. But Madam Speaker, as we delve into the nuances of infrastructure investment within the context of building sustainable societies, it is crucial to recognize that this concept extends far beyond the traditional scope of bricks and mortar, or as we say in Anguilla, blocks and steel. Infrastructure, in its broadest and most transformative sense, encompasses a vast array of elements that are foundational to the growth and prosperity of our island home. Firstly, physical infrastructure is not only our buildings and roads, but also our telecommunication networks, power grids, and water systems, and the very airport we are ambitiously redeveloping. These tangible assets are essential for facilitating economic activity, connecting communities, and enhancing the quality of life of our people. However, equally important is our social infrastructure, Madam Speaker. These are the schools where we educate our young leaders, the healthcare facilities where we care for our people, and the cultural institutions that preserve and promote our heritage. These institutions are the very foundation of our society, nurturing our great resource, our people. And we must consider the digital infrastructure, which has become increasingly critical in a technology-driven world, as well as our environmental infrastructure, which includes our efforts in sustainable energy and water management. These components are key to ensuring that our development is sustainable, preserving Anguilla for future generations. And therefore, Madam Speaker, when we talk about building our future, we are referring to investments in all forms of infrastructure. We are talking about a holistic approach to development, developing robust infrastructure that supports a sustainable and resilient Anguilla. Madam Speaker, as we embark on a new era for Anguilla, our budget reflects a clear set of priorities. Central is our investment in our young leaders, upon whose shoulders the future of Anguilla rests. Our investment in their education, in sports, and in creating opportunities for them to excel is not just an investment in individuals, it is an investment in our Anguillian legacy. There remains great wisdom in paying heed to the scriptures. The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 6 teaches us, "Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Madam Speaker, this wisdom has many implications and applications in our society today. And so, guided by this wisdom, we are focusing on policies and programs that will have a profound impact on nurturing our youth. And as we empower our youth, we lay a solid foundation for a future Anguilla that is resilient, inclusive, and responsible. Madam Speaker, a key area of focus in 2024 and beyond must be the prioritization of digital technology and systems. We recognize that digital technology is a critical driver of efficiency, and as such, we have allocated resources towards the enhancement of our digital infrastructure. We are digitalizing public services to improve accessibility and efficiency, streamlining processes, reducing bureaucratic red tape, and simply put, improving services to our people. By leveraging technology, we can enhance the visitor experience, streamline operations, and strengthen our competitive edge in the global tourism market. And furthermore, by investing in the training and development of our youth, we ensure a pipeline of talented individuals who will contribute to the growth and prosperity of our island. Together, we can shape Anguilla into a destination of choice, renowned for its commitment to responsible tourism and its dedication to the well-being of our people and our planet. And moreover, we are focusing on enhancing digital literacy and skills among our populace. To harness the full potential of technology, our people must be adequately trained and empowered. We are investing in education and training and technical and vocational education and training, or TVET programs, to equip our youth and workforce with the necessary digital skills. Our focus on improving the business climate takes two complementary focuses of nurturing local enterprises and attracting foreign investment. We recognize the critical need to reduce energy costs, and this budget, Madam Speaker, prioritizes the creation of an environment conducive to affordable alternative energy sources, aligning with global sustainability goals. In parallel, we reaffirm our commitment to enhancing food production through strategic investments in the blue and green economy, ensuring food security and environmental sustainability. In summary, Madam Speaker, this budget is a blueprint for a brighter future for Anguilla. It encapsulates our aspirations for a technology-advanced and resilient society. We look forward with optimism, ready to embrace the opportunities and tackle the challenges that lie ahead on our journey towards a prosperous Anguilla for all. And at this time, Madam Speaker, I'd like to go through the economic and fiscal review. The 2023 review of the economy, Madam Speaker, despite the lingering effects from a string of severe and abrupt setbacks, the Anguillan economy demonstrated remarkable progress in 2023. On a global front, there were actions and announcements that helped to regularize activities such as supply chain disruptions and delivery times being largely normalized to pre-COVID levels. Major central banks around the world tightening monetary policy, resulting in a deceleration of inflation, and the World Health Organization announcing that COVID-19 is no longer a global health emergency. Thankfully, our health system coped through the crisis, and we have strengthened our health infrastructure, protocols, and policy environment to manage infections and hospitalizations and be responsive to future occurrences. Madam Speaker, thanks to the United Kingdom government, their generous taxpayers, UK Health Security Agency, Pan American Health Organization, at this time we mourn the loss of Dr. Carissa Etienne, the former executive director. We want to thank our doctors and nurses and other healthcare workers, our chief medical officer, who helped us to get through that harrowing time of the pandemic, Madam Speaker. We want to thank the UK government for enhancing the hospital services, increasing the lab footprint, so that we were able to open the economy, Madam Speaker, through testing and through the ability to treat our patients. Madam Speaker, please allow me to briefly summarize economic performance in 2023 and the forecast for 2024. In line with predictions for global growth, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, expects real GDP to have increased by 9.61% in 2023, with further growth of 6.95% predicted for 2024. Madam Speaker, Anguilla's economy is primarily driven by tourism services, and recovery is almost complete. We'd like to thank our hotel owners, the managers, supervisors, our hospitality workers in the hotels, villas, restaurants, the ferry service, the taxi drivers, the car rental agents, who worked hard to make sure that we had an open economy and we could take care of visitors to our island. Madam Speaker, rebounding from tourism has complemented several other industries affecting real activity positively. For example, alongside the uptick in hotels and restaurants, real estate, renting, and business activities sustained robust performance in 2023, thriving on higher demand for services like rental of equipment, vehicles, and villas associated with rising visitor arrivals and continuous construction works. This industry accounted for 13.09% of real economic activity, Madam Speaker. Activity in the construction remains buoyant as many hotel plants are being renovated and residential development continues to grow. In real terms, this industry represented 8.93% of economic activity. Localized shocks affecting performance in 2023 did not persist for extended periods. And at this time, we can thank God, Madam Speaker, that we made it through another hurricane season without significant damage. Nationally, business delivery was disrupted on 2 occasions. First, a subsea fiber break in February of 2023 caused degradation of telecommunications services for just over 2 days before services returned to normal levels. We'd like to thank the hard workers at Flow and Digicel for getting us back online and able to communicate, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in October of 2023, Anguilla was issued a watch and warning for Hurricane Tammy, but its center tracked east of the island, and we were spared the brunt of the winds. However, rain and thunderstorms impacted the island, and the electricity generation plant sustained damages, resulting in an island-wide power outage that took several days for full restoration. We wish to commend the hard workers at Anguilla and the disaster and management team that helped to get us back to full recovery, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, improved access to Anguilla has been a focus of this administration, and to this end, the state-of-the-art Blowing Point Ferry Terminal was officially opened in January 2023. Madam Speaker, this ferry terminal was locally designed, locally built, Anguillan ingenuity, Madam Speaker. The seaport, Madam Speaker, is Anguilla's main port of entry, and the terminal design and development are intended to enhance the island's tourism product and elevate the traveler experience. This administration's dedication to promoting international connectivity, economic growth and stability, and linking traffic forecasts to airport infrastructural requirements were demonstrated by the unveiling of the Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport Master Plan, which is now being implemented. In 2024, Madam Speaker, construction is expected to contribute significantly to growth related to the airport redevelopment and several tourism-related projects. It is anticipated that home and private building activities would increase in tandem with the growing availability of credit. The promising future of construction and growing connectivity, facilitated by upgraded air and seaport infrastructure, are integral to driving Anguillan economic growth in the medium and long term. Madam Speaker, global living standards declined in 2022 and 2023 as costs rose disproportionately to incomes. The major factors influencing observed prices in Anguilla were rising costs of commodities, higher oil prices, and changes in fiscal policy. These inflationary pressures affecting our island have led to average consumer prices in September 2023 being 1.2% higher than the same period last year and 9.3% higher than the same period in 2021 over 2022. To sum up, Madam Speaker, the economic performance of 2023 and the prospects for 2024 should enthuse residents and potential investors. Current conditions in the global environment and large pipeline capital investment projects present a positive economic output that is cautiously optimistic. Madam Speaker, at this time, I'll discuss the 2023 fiscal review. The estimated year-end outturn for recurrent revenue in 2023 is $399.13 million EC, compared to a proposed estimate of $288.23 million. We should be applauding for that, Madam Speaker. If we asked Mr. Winston to put in a few more dollars, we'd hit the 400 million mark. Madam Speaker, as at November 31, 2023, the actual collections were $376.12 million, and this stellar performance has been attributed to various revenue accounts exceeding approved estimates. In relation to taxes on payroll and the workforce, the budgeted amount for 2023 was $18.5 million, with a projected outturn of $20.04 million. Taxes on goods and services continue to perform above estimate. For 2023, the proposed estimate was $90.66 million, and it is anticipated to exceed this estimate by $60.61 million by the end of December 2023. Thank you. Domain name registration, that is the .ai, has performed significantly above the budget estimate of $24 million with projected outturn of $77.18 million. It's good to be Anguilla, Madam Speaker. That gives us the .ai, which can represent artificial intelligence. Madam Speaker, the expected recurrent expenditure performance for 2023 is $234.965 million. There were two supplementary appropriations to increase the approved estimate for recurrent expenditure from $245.93 million to $253.75 million, an overall increase of approximately $7 million EC dollars. Supplemented funds were committed to, inter alia, urgent and essential expenditure involving medical treatment overseas, public assistance, and areas in education. The increased expenditure envelope also expanded financial support to the Water Corporation of Anguilla to ensure that they met their operational costs, as well as capital expenditure related to the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School completion. Personal emoluments were estimated at $95.92 million and is expected to perform below at $89.75 million. Furthermore, goods and services was budgeted at $57.88 million. However, it is projected to come in under the budget with $52.12 million. Grants and contributions were budgeted at $47.95 million, and this is projected to incur total expenditure of $53.99 million due to increases via the supplementary. This increase in expenditure is due mainly to electricity costs related to the Water Corporation of Anguilla. Projected capital receipts for 2023 total $1.37 million, and capital expenditure for 2023 is expected to be $24.15 million. The capital balance reflecting capital receipts is projected to be a deficit of $22.78 million. The government's overall fiscal position before amortization, a sum of the recurrent and capital balances for 2023, is estimated to be $141.39 million against a budget estimate of $26.4 million. Again, Madam Speaker, we should be applauding. I know it's Friday afternoon and maybe we're a little bit hungry, but Madam Speaker, the downward trend in public debt, or they say maybe they've eaten lunch and now they're... Thank you very much. Someone said I should repeat this, Madam Speaker. The government's overall fiscal position before amortization, a sum of the recurrent and capital balances for 2023, is estimated to be $141.39 million against a budget estimate of $26.4 million. Thank you very much. That's it, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the downward trend in public debt continues in fiscal year 2023. Preliminary estimates show that the total public debt, which comprise central government, government guaranteed, and non-guaranteed debt of state-owned enterprises, or as we affectionately know them, statutory bodies, is projected at $371.92 million, or 24.76% of GDP at the end of year 2023, a decrease of $37.94 million over the 2022 total public debt stock of $409.86 million, or 33.52% of GDP. And at this point, Madam Speaker, I'd like to digress just a bit. And if we look at those numbers, 2023 debt will be at $371.92 million, or 24.7% of GDP. At 2022, the debt, at the end of 22, debt was $409.86 million, or 33.52% of GDP. For comparison, Madam Speaker, at the end of 2020, debt was $494.82 million, or 63.25% of GDP. Madam Speaker, you can see that the trend is to reduce the debt. Now, why do we want to pay off debt, Madam Speaker? Prime Minister Mia Mottley, in her budget speech 2023-2024, said, "You have to reduce debt to secure long-term sustainability and to decrease reputational risk. The revenue not used to pay debt can be invested in education, in healthcare, infrastructure, and security. It can build reserves for capital development." Madam Speaker, that is the reason why debt needs to be paid off, because it is a millstone that hangs around the neck. It hangs around the necks of the next generation, Madam Speaker. And woe be unto us if we can do better, if we just kick the can down the road so that our children and children's children have to pay it on our behalf. Madam Speaker, at the end of 2023, central government debt stock is projected at $358.19 million, an estimated decrease of $35.36 million over the 2022 debt stock of $393.55 million. Government guaranteed debt stock is projected at $0.56 million, an estimated decrease of $1.24 million over the 2022 debt stock of $1.8 million. Non-guaranteed state-owned enterprise or statutory body debt stock is projected at $13.17 million, an estimated decrease of $1.35 million over the 2022 debt stock of $14.52 million. Accounting for the change in central government, government-guaranteed and non-guaranteed debt stock is that for fiscal year 2023, projected scheduled amortization is expected to exceed disbursements. Of the outstanding projected debt stock for the end of year 2023, central government debt stock projections account for 96.31% of the portfolio. Government guaranteed or statutory rebutted debt stock projections is 0.15%, comprising loans for the Anguilla Development Board. The non-guaranteed or statutory rebutted debt stock projections account for the remaining 3.54%, a public-private partnership for the Water Corporation of Anguilla. And domestic debts account for 58.9%, or $219.05 million of the portfolio, and external debt for the remaining 41.1%, or $152.84 million. And we know that that domestic debt, Madam Speaker, is due to the banking resolution, Social Security, Depositors Trust. Madam Speaker, during the fiscal year 2023, there was no new debt contracted, and my government has no intentions of borrowing over the medium term. I see they are listening now, Madam Speaker. I repeat that there's no intention to borrowing over the medium term. Disbursements for the fiscal year 2023 is projected at approximately $915,000, which is the undisbursed balance on the Anguilla Community College project loan contracted from the CDB in 2014. Projections show that the undisbursed balance should be utilized before the end of year. Owing to the improved financial performance during the year, the existing lines of credit through the ECCB cash advance facility and the overdraft facility from the National Commercial Bank of Anguilla were not utilized. This has been the trend for the past 2 years. There was no new borrowing or disbursements associated with government-guaranteed and non-guaranteed statutory body debt. Madam Speaker, the cost of servicing central government debt is projected to move from 50.69 million EC dollars, that is amortization of 36.27 million and interest payments of 14.42 million in 2023, to 53.87 million, that is amortization of 38.25 million and interest payments of $15.62 million in 2024. I'll repeat that, Madam Speaker, since that's a mouthful. The cost of servicing central government debt is projected to move from $50.69 million, which is amortization of 36.27 million, plus 14.42 million interest in 2023, and that will increase to 53.87 million, amortization of 38.25 million, with interest payments of 15.62 million in 2024. This represents an increase of 6.27%, Madam Speaker, or $3.18 million, due primarily to the expiration of the grace period on one of the CDB loans contracted in 2018 and the increase in cost of debt, specifically the variable interest rate on the external debt that is refixed every 3 months. Madam Speaker, my government continues to build reserves and has recorded $179.8 million at the December date. Thank you very much. I was waiting, Madam Speaker. An addition of $119.23 million when compared to $60.57 million at the end of fiscal year 2022. Madam Speaker, as you are aware, the government of Anguilla is required to maintain public debt levels within 3 stipulated borrowing limits, as outlined in the Framework for Fiscal Sustainability and Development, the FFSD. The borrowing limits include the net debt and debt service ratios, which should not exceed 80% and 10% of recurrent revenue, respectively, and liquid assets that should be sufficient to cover 90 days or 25% of recurrent expenditure. At the end of 2023, preliminary projections show that the government will comply with 2 of the borrowing limits. Madam Speaker, allow me to pause so everyone can digest that. We would have met, by the end of 2023, 2 of those borrowing limits. And if you remember, Madam Speaker, when we came in 2020, the borrowing was at 174% of the recurrent revenue, when it should be less than 80%. Our debt servicing was 28%, when it should have been 10% or less. And we had 1 day of reserves, Madam Speaker, less than $500,000. That is now, as I said earlier, projected to be at $179.8 million by the end of this month. Madam Speaker, Anguilla is doing better. At the end of 2023, preliminary analysis shows that even though Government of Anguilla will remain in breach of only one of the ratios, with significant improvements in the FFSD ratios, the net debt ratio is projected at 48.81% compared to 100.3% at the end of 2022, a significant improvement. The debt service ratio at 13.32% compared to 14.95% at the end of 22 is the only one that we will be in breach of. And the liquid assets at 70.8%, approximately 255 days compared to 26.65%, approximately 96 days, which we had at the end of 2022. This is building resilience, Madam Speaker. This is good, prudent management of the public purse. The debt to GDP ratio, that is the measure recognized by our regional neighbors and partners, is projected at 24.76% compared to 33.52% at the end of 2022. Understanding, Madam Speaker, that the ECCU target benchmark is 60%. We're at 24.76%. Madam Speaker, our debt continues a downward trajectory and is projected to remain on a sustainable path. This administration recognizes the significance of managing public debt to keep it at credible and sustainable levels, Madam Speaker. Projections from the medium-term economic and fiscal plan indicate that nominal debt is projected to decline over the medium to long term. And even though our debt servicing costs, specifically principal repayments at $38.25 million, is projected to increase in 2024 and slightly increasing over the projected period, it remains manageable. Thank you. At this time, we look at the 2024 budget, Madam Speaker, which we have entitled Anguilla's Blueprint. As we present this year's budget, we are dedicated to fostering a holistic and progressive approach in various key areas that are fundamental to the growth and well-being of our people. Number one, we are building a safer Anguilla. Strategic investments in safety, crime prevention, and community security. I saw the Commissioner of Police, his ears perked up, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, a priority area is to address the challenges that threaten the peace and stability of our beloved island. In recent times, we have witnessed a distressing uptick in gun violence, a trend that undermines the tranquility and safety of our communities. To combat this, our government is committed to significantly enhancing the capabilities of the Royal Anguilla Police Force. Madam Speaker, you know that we recently had a report from the Gun Crime and Violence Committee, and they made several recommendations. We have listened, Madam Speaker, and urgently have taken heed. So in this year's budget, we are allocating substantial resources to strengthen our police force. We plan to increase the number of constables and sergeants in the Royal Anguilla Police Force, thereby augmenting our frontline defense against crime. This expansion will enable more effective patrolling, quicker response times, and a greater presence in our communities, sending a clear message that we are resolute in maintaining law and order. Moreover, our strategy goes beyond increasing manpower. We recognize the critical role of technology in modern policing. Therefore, funds are earmarked in our capital budget for the deployment of advanced closed-circuit TV systems across key locations in Anguilla. This state-of-the-art CCTV will act as a surveillance tool and will serve as an indispensable asset in crime prevention and investigation, providing our police force with enhanced capabilities to monitor activities, to gather evidence, and swiftly respond to any criminal incidents. It is time for CCTV, Madam Speaker. Thank you. In addition to manpower and technology, we are also investing in training and development programs for our police officers. This will ensure that they are not only well equipped, but also highly skilled in dealing with the complexities of modern policing, especially in addressing gun-related crimes. Our aim is to create a police force under the leadership of Commissioner of Police Robert Clark that is not only robust in numbers, but exemplary in professionalism and effectiveness, Madam Speaker. In parallel to enhancing our police force, the Anguilla Fire and Rescue Service remains a cornerstone in our commitment to public safety. We are increasing resources to expand their staff complement, improving resources to meet regulatory requirements and ensure redundancy. And so, Santa Claus is coming early, and they're getting a new fire truck, Madam Speaker. And this will allow them, Madam Speaker, to supplement the fleet, thus keeping the airport at its current category rating, but also able to respond to domestic fires. Madam Speaker, in 2024, the Anguilla Fire and Rescue Service will also advance towards becoming a regional leader in emergency response training. They have pioneered innovation with the construction of an aircraft rescue and firefighting training mock-up, a first of its kind in the Caribbean, attracting interest from several neighboring islands. And recently, Madam Speaker, you may have noticed on Facebook that there was a simulation that was done at the airport where there was training from firepersons from other territories. Madam Speaker, Anguilla is at the top of the class in this area. And so, in collaboration with the Ministry of Infrastructure and the Department of Education, the Anguilla Fire and Rescue Service is seeking to develop a curriculum further solidifying our position in emergency response excellence. These initiatives are integral components of our broader strategy to reinforce our security infrastructure. They represent our unwavering commitment to safeguarding our island, ensuring that Anguilla remains a sanctuary of peace for all who call it home and those who visit our shores. In undertaking these actions, we reassert our dedication to maintaining order and peace and preserving the tranquil essence of our island for present and future generations. We want the people to lose the crowd and find themselves in Anguilla, Madam Speaker. In parallel, through the Attorney General's Chamber, we are advancing key legislative reforms, particularly in areas of social justice and public safety. These key reforms include firearms legislation reform. To address the critical issue of gun violence, we are undertaking comprehensive reforms to the existing firearms legislation. This initiative aims to enhance public safety and reduce gun-related crimes. And just 2 days ago, the Honorable Attorney General and his staff led a very robust public consultation on firearms Act amendments, on the Bail Act amendment, on electronic evidence, and the Evidence Act, Madam Speaker. The Administration of Justice Special Provisions Bill. This omnibus bill will include special measures for protecting vulnerable victims and witnesses, ensuring that our justice system is both fair and responsive to the needs of those most at risk. The enactment of Electronic Evidence Act. Recognizing the growing importance of digital evidence in legal proceedings, this legislation will establish clear guidelines and standards for the admissibility and handling of electronic evidence. This act is a significant step towards modernizing our legal framework in the digital age. And decriminalization of small quantities of cannabis. Advancing the move towards progressive drug policy, the continued decriminalization of the possession of small quantities reduces the burden on our legal system, aligning with contemporary social justice perspectives. Madam Speaker, the member for Valley South has been working diligently to ensure that this gets on the books, gets through Executive Council, gets to this House, Madam Speaker. Our commitment to these reforms underlines our resolve in fostering a just, safe, and equitable society. Enhancing governance, strategic reforms for a progressive Anguilla. Madam Speaker, aligned with our government's vision of empowering and sculpting the future in an ever-evolving professional landscape, public administration is committed to an agenda of progressive transformation. Our focus is steadfastly set on enhancing, modernizing, and future-proofing the mechanisms that form the backbone of our public service. This endeavor is not just about meeting the immediate needs of our customers, it's about sculpting visionary leaders who can navigate and shape an increasingly dynamic world. We are embarking on a collaborative journey with the Anguilla Community College to curate and administer a comprehensive leadership and management training program. This program is tailored specifically for the top and middle managers of the Anguilla Public Service, aiming to imbue them with the skills and insights needed to lead effectively in today's complex environment. Understanding the critical role of administrative staff in the smooth functioning of public service, we are reintroducing the Civil Service Learning Platform, a UK-based educational resource. This, along with a selection of other carefully chosen short courses, will cater to the evolving training needs of our administrative personnel. These educational interventions are designed based on detailed training needs assessments, ensuring they are both relevant and impactful. The heart of our public service reform lies in the prompt and effective reimplementation of the Performance Management and Development Review, the PMDR. The implementation of this system was strategically delayed to refine its impact. It is more than just a performance appraisal tool. It is a vital lever for instilling a culture of continuous improvement, accountability, and excellence within our public service. I urge that this process be expedited to revitalize the PMDR framework to enhance operational efficiency and effectiveness, ensuring that every taxpayer dollar contributes to the Anguilla's prosperity. By advancing this work, we will build a robust, agile, and future-ready public service that truly delivers value for money to our taxpayers. Thank you. Integral to the concept of a high-performing public service is the notion of equitable pay. To this end, public administration, in partnership with the Deputy Governor's Office, will engage a professional consultant to conduct a comprehensive compensation review across all service sectors. This review will focus on rectifying any disparities in job classifications and remuneration, thereby ensuring fairness and consistency in salaries and allowances. And Madam Speaker, in 2024, this budget will continue reversal of the salary cuts made in 2009 and 2010. Madam Speaker, we started back in July and retroactive to January 1st of 2023 to reverse the salary cuts that were done in 2010. Starting January 1 of 2024, we'll reverse the cuts that were done in 2009. Madam Speaker, this was not, thank you. Madam Speaker, this was not done on our watch, but government is continuous. I hope that the people remember that when they go to vote as to who started what. In our unwavering pursuit of excellence, Madam Speaker, these initiatives mark significant steps towards a public service that is not only efficient and effective, but also adaptable and forward-looking. They are a testament to our commitment to nurturing a governance framework that is responsive, equitable, and geared towards a sustainable development of Anguilla. Madam Speaker, as we journey towards the pinnacle of good governance, the House of Assembly Services Department remains a beacon of support to this Assembly's vital functions. I saw your ears perk up, Madam Speaker. These include legislative processes, comprehensive scrutiny, and the representation of the public's voice. In this coming year, this support deepens in actualizing a transformative reform agenda, an agenda that is essential in elevating the effectiveness and responsiveness of our Assembly to unprecedented heights. Central to this is the support provided to the Administration Committee in fully operationalizing the Code of Conduct and Register of Interests for members of the Assembly. This task is more than a procedural necessity. It is the foundation of ethical governance. By ensuring that every member adheres to the highest standards of conduct and transparency about the interests, we can fortify the public's trust and confidence in their representatives. Ensuring integrity is maintained and aligned with the values and expectations of our people, a governance model that is both ethical and reflective of the aspirations of the people of Anguilla. Moreover, consideration will be given to implementing the recommendations from the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Benchmarks for Democratic Legislatures Assessment Report and the Governance, Organization, and Administrative Review of the House of Assembly. These recommendations enhance the effectiveness, transparency, and accountability of our Assembly. Methodical implementation of these recommendations will allow us to refine our legislative processes, bolster our organizational structure, and align our administrative practices with the highest international standards for democratic legislatures. These reforms will redefine the Assembly's role as a fundamental pillar of our democracy. Strengthen the foundations, strategic advances in land management, immigration, labor affairs, and physical planning. Madam Speaker, at the heart of our blueprint is a bold step towards economic justice, the establishment of a national minimum wage. This historic move, set at $16.20 EC or $6 US, effective January 1st, 2024, is more than just a figure. It represents over 30 years of aspirations now becoming a reality for every worker in Anguilla. Madam Speaker, I heard, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts boasting that they were increasing their minimum wage to $10.75 per hour starting January 1st of 2024 and to $12.50 per hour in July of 2025. Madam Speaker, we're starting ahead of them. And Madam Speaker, their VAT rate is 17%. But don't tell the opposition, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, our approach is multifaceted. the Ministry of Home Affairs, in collaboration with the Department of Labor and the Attorney General's Office, has enacted crucial work permit regulations alongside the Labor Relations Act of 2018. These steps will lay the foundations for a fair and equitable workplace. In 2024, our focus will intensify. The Department of Labor will strengthen its compliance functions to oversee the implementation of the minimum wage, and we are providing more resources here. We are not just talking about policies. We're talking about people's lives, Madam Speaker, their dignity and their rights to work. Turning to immigration, we are embracing technology to revolutionize our services. The planned upgrades to the OTR-CIS are not just about efficiency. They're about making Anguilla more welcoming and accessible in this globalized world. Furthermore, the formalization of the Remote Workers Program, also known as the Digital Nomads Program, reflects our commitment to adapt and thrive in the digital age. Furthermore, our commitment to national security and economic efficiency is underscored through the collaboration between our customs and immigration departments. In 2024, we are moving towards the implementation of the ACIS, or Advanced Cargo Information System, and Advanced Passenger Information Systems, APIS, a pivotal step in modernizing our trade and security processes. These systems will not only streamline cargo and passenger processing, but also enhance our border security, ensuring a more effective and seamless flow of goods and people. In the realm of physical planning, we envision a future where technology and governance coexist seamlessly. In 2024, the integration of the GIS and drone technology, coupled with robust policy frameworks, will not only aid in development, but also ensure that we are prepared for the challenges of climate change. Our blueprint is about proactive, resilient, and sustainable development. The Department of Lands and Surveys is forging forward in its digital transformation agenda. The integration of the high-resolution imagery and AI in land management is not just about data. It's about shaping a future where every decision is informed, inclusive, and forward-looking. At the end of 2023, the department was able to successfully complete the acquisition of new imagery at 5-centimeter resolution for the entire island via the use of a specialized drone mapping technology, as well as 360-degree high-definition video imagery of all the streets and paths. This data will be available to other government agencies in early 24. Combining these data with software such as ARCGIS, government can accelerate storm surge modeling, flooding analysis, climate resilience through identification of housing and infrastructure at risk, environment and natural resource management, improve land use, and more efficient land registration. The department will also continue with its forward-looking mission in launching the Land Information System that will streamline the ease of doing business at the department through enhanced public-facing web applications. As we mark the 50th anniversary of a registered system for land in Anguilla in 2024, let us also celebrate the journey we have embarked upon, a journey towards a future that is equitable, technologically advanced, and above all, humane. Charting a sustainable future, embracing the blue-green economies, food security, and renewable energy. Madam Speaker, we remain resolute in our belief that with the right investment and global partnerships, Anguilla can be a world leader in best practices for developing a low-carbon, green and blue economy. In 2023, Anguilla joined the United Kingdom Blue Belt program, and the United Kingdom government has committed in writing, I guess we specifically put there in writing so it wouldn't be questioned, Madam Speaker, to a program of support to assist Anguilla in the ongoing work to further develop the blue economy. This work will continue in 2024 and includes legislative change to strengthen governance, management, and enforcement, sargassum monitoring and analysis, development of a sustainable fishery, examination of the processes leading to coastal erosion, enhanced regulation of marine protected areas, and marine spatial planning to ensure the responsible use of our ocean resources for sustaining livelihoods, economic development, transportation, and environmental protection. Madam Speaker, the sea and coast of Anguilla are not merely geographical features. They are the lifeblood of our island's prosperity. Work will continue towards the goal of having Anguilla's fisheries certified as being sustainable to increase opportunities for export to new markets. Furthermore, the Blue Anguilla Policy 2022 sets forth a path to sustainably develop our marine space anchored in effective governance, particularly in the maritime shipping sector. This sector, vital for connectivity, tourism, youth development, culture, and trade, will see the Anguilla Maritime Administration and Shipping Registry Unit in 2024 focusing on the Anguilla Strategy for the International Maritime Organization Instruments Implementation Code, or the 3 I's Code, Madam Speaker. This strategy is about fostering greater integration, cooperation, and coordination, thereby strengthening our maritime regulatory framework and exploring the untapped potential of Anguilla's blue economy. As we step into a future where sustainable energy is not just a choice but a necessity, our government is committed to leading the charge in implementing renewable energy solutions. Recognizing the importance of reducing our carbon footprint and preserving our planet for future generations, we have embarked on a comprehensive journey to transform our energy landscape. This involves a multifaceted approach, embracing innovative technologies, fostering collaborations with key stakeholders, and prioritizing investments in renewable energy sources. And Madam Speaker, this administration is collaborating with Anguilla on a RFP, request for proposals, for development of renewable energy farm to transition from diesel fuel to solar and/or wind. This will decrease the cost of electricity and limit the need for fuel surcharge. Madam Speaker, we are moving in the right direction. Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Infrastructure plans to expand the government's fleet by incorporating electric vehicles, which is a strategic move that resonates deeply with our renewable energy program. This represents a significant stride towards sustainable mobility, aligning seamlessly with our broader environmental objectives. I'm sure that the single island-wide member, Mrs. Quincy Gams-Marie, will be happy with this, and she just returned from COP28, Madam Speaker. In parallel, the Ministry of Sustainability, Innovation, and the Environment has been actively engaging with key stakeholders to advance the government's renewable energy agenda. Collaborations have been established with pivotal entities like the Public Utilities Commission, the Ministry of Infrastructure, Anguilla, Caribbean Development Bank, Rocky Mountain Institute, and the OECS Commission. Following the successful recruitment for the new Anguilla Renewable Energy Advisory Service in the Department of Natural Resources, the ministry is now set to intensify its efforts. Contemporaneously, the Public Utilities Commission is preparing itself via staff training and attending regional and international energy conferences and workshops so that it can effectively and efficiently administer regulatory frameworks to address grid integration challenges, energy storage solutions, and community engagement in renewable projects. Madam Speaker, all arms are moving towards a common goal. We hope to strike the right balance between fostering innovation and ensuring environmental protection, as this is crucial for the success of renewable energy initiatives. Our focus will be on achieving energy security, reducing energy costs, enhancing energy access, while also addressing critical issues related to policy, legislation, and compliance. This comprehensive approach underscores our commitment to a sustainable energy future, integrating innovative transportation solutions with broader energy initiatives. And having made significant investment in 2023 in the procurement of shade houses, ground cover, and water tanks for distribution to farmers, which started today, Madam Speaker, as well as development of facilities and services to support animal farmers in particular, the Ministry of Sustainability, Innovation and Environment will continue its efforts in 2024 to revolutionize the agriculture sector. Madam Speaker, this intention is to enhance agriculture, to increase food security, and decrease food imports. With an anticipated further capital investment of 1.16 million EC dollars, the ministry will roll out support measures to more farmers with the provision of shade houses for climate amelioration, water tanks to assist with access to potable water, fodder production for livestock, and operationalization of the hatchery and abattoir. These are first in Anguilla, Madam Speaker. Additionally, support measures for fishers will also be implemented. These include the provision of public fish aggregating devices, which are affectionately known as FADs, biodegradable wire to encourage sustainability and capacity building for fishers. A fish stock assessment will also be conducted on selected fisheries as a key step in the certification process for the local fishery. The ministry is acutely aware of the existential threats associated with climate change, the challenges of coral reef degradation, beach erosion, and pollution, and recognizes the interconnectedness between healthy ecosystems and sustainable livelihoods. As such, it remains committed to harnessing the potential of the blue and green economy for the benefit of the people of Anguilla, while ensuring that equal attention is given to environmental management and sustainability. A renewed focus will be placed on establishing the policy, regulatory, and legislative frameworks necessary for the improved environmental management and protection. In particular, the Ministry of Sustainability, Innovation and the Environment will advance efforts to ensure that climate change considerations are mainstreamed in policy development across all sectors. Additionally, with the imminent completion of the new fisheries boat, increased monitoring of nearshore activities and the marine environment will be realized. Digitalization of public services. Madam Speaker, harnessing technology is a key theme of this budget address, as well as our focus for 2024. The Department of Information Technology and E-Government Services, affectionately known as DITES, will be a key part of the agenda to transform the landscape of our public services through digitization. Key to this transformation is the expansion of our internal technological capacities. The department will undertake various system upgrades, ensuring that our technical infrastructure is not only current but also forward-looking, capable of meeting both present and future demands. A crucial aspect of this initiative is the enhancement of the Asacuda system. This improvement will streamline our customs procedures, fostering a more efficient trade environment. In parallel, the Royal Anguilla Police Force will see advances in digital forensics, a move that will bolster our law enforcement capabilities in this increasingly digital age. In alignment with Anguilla's blueprint, the Inland Revenue Department is transforming tax administration through deepening of the multi-tax solution, MTS. This initiative, underpinned by significant investments in IT and digital payment infrastructure, is designed to optimize the efficiency of tax collection processes, including payment of the goods and service tax and universal social levy. This will ensure a more streamlined, transparent tax payment experience. Our approach to development, Madam Speaker, is holistic, as evidenced by the comprehensive restructuring of vehicle and driver licensing and fee systems. By integrating technology across the Inland Revenue Department and the Ministry of Infrastructure, we will introduce advanced, efficient methods for fee collection. This strategy is not only about improving revenue collection, but also about ensuring our systems are in harmony with our broader national objectives. Madam Speaker, the General Post Office continues to focus on becoming a natural home for the delivery of face-to-face government services and ensuring that customers can interact with government online. Priority continues to be given towards the further upgrading of the ICT of the General Post Office to modernize as well as improve efficiency, accountability, and performance. Customers continue to steadily embrace the online payment platform, and other web-based and mobile applications are currently being developed to support this platform and to meet customers' needs better in 2024. Also, the recently launched new website for the General Post Office is linked to the online payment platform and offers customers the ability to complete and submit service applications forms electronically. In addition, 3 self-service digital kiosks have been installed in the customer lobby and will be fully launched or operational in January of 2024. Madam Speaker, this should decrease the length of the lines at the post office. In summary, Madam Speaker, these budget allocations to digitalize public services represent our dedication to improving efficiency, responsiveness, and the overall effectiveness of service delivery to our people. Supporting business and protecting consumers. Madam Speaker, we remain committed to supporting businesses whilst protecting consumers. As we near the completion of recruitment, the Consumer Protection Unit will commence operations in 2024. An immediate priority will be the implementation of price control measures on essential goods, ensuring affordability for our people. The Consumer Protection Unit, Madam Speaker, will not only engage in vigilant price monitoring, but will rigorously enforce compliance with established price margins by suppliers. This critical step is not just about safeguarding consumer interests. It is a declaration of our unwavering commitment to maintaining market fairness and integrity. Madam Speaker, essential food items and other items which are zero-rated for GST and exempt from customs duties since April of 2022, these items should cost less, Madam Speaker. Because if you're not paying the 9% IGT, Madam Speaker, and these items are zero-rated, and you're not paying customs, which you would have been paying before April of 2022, then these items should be cheaper, Madam Speaker. And we have asked and pleaded, but to no avail in most cases. And so it is time for price control, Madam Speaker. The people have asked for it. The people will get it, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, to foster innovation, entrepreneurship, economic growth, and job creation, we continue to support local businesses engaged in light manufacturing. Licensed manufacturing businesses are encouraged to apply for a manufacturing certificate through my ministry to benefit from GST zero-rated supply on the importation of raw materials and equipment essential for manufacturing. Additionally, the ministry will deepen our collaboration with the Anguilla Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation. This partnership aims to create a robust business development framework that not only encourages growth but also enhances the prospects for business success, contributing to a vibrant and sustainable economic environment. To align with Anguilla's development vision, my ministry will revamp its investment model and framework to attract investments that resonate with our strategic objectives. This will include a comprehensive analysis of investment types, finance mechanisms, and incentive support, coupled with vigorous and rigorous due diligence processes. Our aim is to ensure that investors are well suited to Anguilla's context, enhancing our global reputation as a trusted and viable jurisdiction for business Moreover, we will focus on measuring the value of investments, ensuring they yield long-term benefits for the people of Anguilla, including assessing social covenants and the overall economic impact of investment projects. Madam Speaker, we welcome investors and developers to Anguilla. But we reiterate that in all memorandum of understanding, they have clauses which outline the social projects which the developer is responsible for to enhance our people and ensure that there is money to pay local subcontractors if a foreign contractor is hired and then leaves the jurisdiction without paying the local subcontractors. We are looking out for our people, Madam Speaker. Bridging futures, technology-driven education and social empowerment in Anguilla. Madam Speaker, as we embark on the transformative journey of 2024, we are allocating more funds to education, which includes new resources and operationalizing our EMIS or EMIS system, the Education Management Information System, and enhancing our TVET programs, a clear indicator of our unwavering commitment to foster a technologically advanced and inclusive educational environment. Madam Speaker, there was no TVET program at the new Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School. There was no science program either until the UK was able to allocate the funding to build a science block. Now, Madam Speaker, it's incumbent upon us to build a new TVET block, and that is going to require $17 million, Madam Speaker. This administration has committed to that because we care about the education of our children. And this is not being funded by any grant, Madam Speaker. This is being funded by the revenue that is collected here in Anguilla. Madam Speaker, this coming year marks a pivotal moment with the rollout of the EMIS program. EMIS is not merely a technological advancement, it represents a paradigm shift in our educational framework. It's designed to ensure seamless management and strategic oversight of the education sector, providing educators, students, and policymakers with real-time access to vital educational data and resources. In essence, EMIS is our tool to guarantee that learning continues unfettered, irrespective of any physical disruptions. I think we have to thank the EU for that funding, which is the last dregs of the EDF funding, which we were eligible for before Brexit, Madam Speaker. We also championing technological integration in primary education through the INSPIRE project. This comprehensive initiative is revolutionizing our educational infrastructure, encompassing everything from upgraded electrical and wireless capabilities to the provision of individual Lenovo devices for teachers and students. These devices are equipped with Google Classroom, LMS, and innovative software like Alex, which is a math teaching program, Madam Speaker. And there are more learning tools that are available. These are bridges to an interconnected and digital educational experience. And we are proud to announce that Project Inspire is now fully operational in 2 of our primary schools and is set to expand further in 2024. Thank you. Madam Speaker, we need to thank our business partners who have contributed significantly to this program. We have management from Lenovo, Andy and Chris Hunn of the Anguilla Initiative, which is a nonprofit in the US that caters to social programs in Anguilla. Bill and Jen Terrell. APANI, Madam Speaker, the Anguilla Progressive Association of New York. the Richard M. Schultz Family Foundation. And Madam Speaker, if memory serves you, they're also funding the school feeding program, which is a success in the primary schools in Anguilla. We want to thank Mr. Schultz of Aurora Resort and Golf Club and his foundation, Madam Speaker. A key addition to the project inspires the digital citizenship component, equipping our students with the knowledge and responsibility needed for safe and effective technology use. In recognition of the transformative power of technology, we are also elevating TVET program. With increased funding, the Ministry of Social Development and Education will be developing national occupational standards that are critical for shaping our national qualifications and curricula. These standards are more than educational guidelines. They are blueprints for professional excellence and a driving force for robust recruitment and job creation in technical fields. And certainly, these trainings can be transferable so that our persons who are trained in these areas, if these skills are recognized by other associations, Madam Speaker. Our commitment to advancement extends to the Department of Library Services. With an increased budget, we are transforming our libraries into digital knowledge hubs, enhancing the e-book collections, and implementing state-of-the-art electronic platforms. As technology progresses, so must our libraries, maintaining their relevance and accessibility in the digital era. The Department of Social Development is not left behind in this technological leap, Madam Speaker. The development of a Management Information System, or MIS, for social protection services will continue, striving for best-in-class services. This robust MIS is designed to strengthen our institutional capacity, ensuring more equitable distribution of resources and efficient management of social protection programs. It is a tool for enhancing accountability, transparency, and intergovernmental coordination, especially in response to socioeconomic shocks. And in our pursuit of social rehabilitation, the Department of Probation will introduce electronic monitoring for offenders on probation and parole. Electronic monitoring involves devices that are continuously attached to the offender as they move about the community, tracking their whereabouts 24 hours a day. This technology is a critical component in our justice system, providing structure and support to offenders while ensuring public safety. Electronic monitoring is a testament to our innovative approach in delivering social services. And advancing youth development through investment in sporting infrastructure and programs is one of the Government of Anguilla's key priority areas. Moreover, we are deeply invested in the physical and mental development of our youth. The upcoming year will witness the completion of a modern basketball court in Blowing Point and the development of a technically advanced track and field facility in the valley. We hope. We do know that the Blowing Point basketball complex is under construction, and we'd like to thank Mr. Robert Seamus, who's a visitor to Anguilla for a long time, who has seen the need to contribute to the social well-being of Anguilla. And I want to also thank the Anguillan contractors and workers who build these projects, Madam Speaker, and build them well. In terms of the track, we continue to pray that the member for Valley South gets her wish for the new year, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we stand resolute in our mission to empower youth and prepare them for a future that is not only technologically advanced, but also rich in opportunities and innovation. This budget is more than an allocation of funds. It is an investment in our island's most valuable asset, our people. Resilient and efficient infrastructure, the cornerstone of sustainable development. Madam Speaker, earlier in my address, I spoke to the need to invest in our physical infrastructure to improve our productivity capacity and spur economic growth. Madam Speaker, this budget will herald significant investments in capital and expenditure, and we are ensuring we get value for money with every dollar spent. In a world that is constantly evolving, our airports and seaports, the gateways connecting us to the global community, are paramount. Our comprehensive airport development plan is a leap towards expanding our air transport infrastructure as we build the future. And Madam Speaker, it was just a few days ago, 2 years prior, that there was the first flight, direct flight from the mainland USA to Anguilla on December 11 of 2021, just a little bit over 2 years ago. Madam Speaker, that has revolutionized access to Anguilla. And further flights like that could revolutionize and make the resilience that is necessary for our tourism product, Madam Speaker. The more heads and beds, the better for our people, Madam Speaker. So the plan is to significant enhancements to the Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport, from upgrading the terminal facilities to improving runway infrastructure, and these are investments in our island's economic prosperity, Madam Speaker. Similarly, our commitment to development of the Road Bay Port Facility will streamline operations, improving the efficiency of trade and commerce. In constructing the future road network, the Department of Infrastructure is not just laying asphalt or concrete, it is forging pathways to long-term economic growth. We are reducing our reliance on local limestone and bitumen materials by increasing the stock of concrete roads. The planning and design of key roads, such as the Albert R. Lake Drive and the Raphael T. Lake Road, among others, continues an extensive roads paving program. We are building safe, efficient, resilient, and sustainable roads that meet and exceed the expectations of our people. Our commitment to maintaining road assets to satisfactory levels and adopting a forward-looking approach extends the life of our asphalt road surfaces, ensuring a road network that is safe, efficient, resilient, and sustainable. Thank you. Under the mantra of Build It Back Better, the Ministry of Infrastructure, under the guidance of the member for Road South, is embarking on a mission to improve and construct buildings that are fit for purpose, resilient, and cost efficient. Beyond 2024, the ministry anticipates launching projects to enhance the government's office accommodations, including the construction of multi-story buildings capable of housing multiple departments. This investment in capital infrastructure is more than erecting buildings. It is about enhancing service efficiency for the people of Anguilla. Prudent fiscal management for sustainable growth. As we embark on a path of prudent fiscal management and sustainable economic growth, our government has formulated a fiscal strategy that underscores our commitment to stability, efficiency, and innovation. This strategy is designed to enhance our island's financial health through three pivotal areas: increasing the efficiency of revenue generation, improving expenditure efficiency, and managing contingent liabilities. Each of these areas plays a critical role in fortifying our economic resilience, ensuring that we not only meet our current fiscal needs, but also lay a robust foundation for future prosperity. And let me first discuss an important aspect of our fiscal policy, particularly considering the increased revenues from our highly valuable .ai domain name registrations. It is indeed a moment of pride and potential for our island, but it also calls for a moment of introspection and caution. While we have witnessed a significant increase in our revenue streams from these registrations, it is imperative that we approach this windfall with prudence and foresight. Our goal is not just to enjoy the immediate benefits, but to secure a stable and prosperous future for every Anguillian. In the spirit of responsible governance, we must ensure that these additional funds are judiciously allocated to meet our expenditure needs, including an ambitious capital expenditure program. This includes vital projects such as the development of our airport, a cornerstone in boosting our connectivity and economic resilience. However, it is crucial to remember that our financial planning cannot solely rely on the revenues from the .ai domain name registrations. We must acknowledge that these revenue streams, while robust, are not under the direct control of our government. The digital landscape is ever-changing, and what seems like a perennial source today can rapidly evolve tomorrow. Therefore, basing our tax policy and long-term financial planning on such variables would be ill-advised. Our approach must be balanced, leveraging this opportunity to enhance our infrastructure and services while maintaining a diversified and sustainable revenue base. And this will ensure that we do not find ourselves in a precarious position should the dynamics of the digital domain market shift. Let us use these funds wisely, investing in our people and our island, all while maintaining a cautious eye on the ever-changing economic landscape. Our responsibility is to ensure that the prosperity we enjoy today can be sustained and passed on to future generations. With the aforementioned considered, I would like now to turn to the cornerstone of our strategy, which rests on the design and implementation of a tax system that not only generates sufficient revenues to meet the fiscal needs of the government, but also encapsulates the ideals of equity, growth, and sustainability. In the latter half of 2022, Madam Speaker, we embarked on significant tax reforms, which included the implementation of a broad-based goods and service tax, GST, and the repeal of several narrow-based taxes. So that this is not misunderstood, Madam Speaker, the first phase of that program was implemented on October 1 of 2019. These reforms have proven effective, with the GST meeting performance expectations and enhancing the resilience of our revenue base. Buoyed by the success of the goods and service tax, which has been a key contributor to our revenue stream, we are now poised to make further adjustments to our tax policy. These adjustments are aimed at ensuring efficient tax administration and alleviating the financial burden on taxpayers. But before the gallery gets nervous, Madam Speaker, I'd like to state here that in 2024, there are no new taxes. Thank you very much. They were waiting for that, Madam Speaker. In 2024, there'll be no new taxes. Madam Speaker, one of the adjustments that will be made to the tax system will be the removal of property tax on residential properties. Thank you. I repeat that. Madam Speaker, starting on January 2024, there will be removal of property tax on residential properties in Anguilla. Thank you. Madam Speaker, while such initiatives are anticipated to reduce our annual revenue collections by approximately $3.42 million, we view these changes as necessary steps towards a more equitable tax system. To counterbalance these revenue reductions and continue enhancing our revenue base, our focus will shift towards improving the efficiency of tax collection. Central to this strategy is the enhancement of voluntary tax compliance rates. This will be achieved through improved taxpayer communication and outreach programs, which are essential in fostering a culture of compliance. Additionally, we will allocate more resources to strengthen the capacity of our revenue collecting agencies, enabling them to effectively pursue robust collection and compliance strategies, especially in collecting revenue arrears. Through these strategic measures, our aim is to build a tax system that is not only robust and efficient, but also fair and conducive to long-term economic growth. we aim to rationalize expenditure by increasing the efficiency of expenditure, particularly in infrastructure investments like airports and renewable energy. This includes adopting best practices in project appraisal and monitoring. Improving financial management and procurement practices is also a priority, with a focus on performance-based budgeting and legislative reform for more efficient procurement processes. I expect early in the new year to bring before this Honorable House, Madam Speaker, significant changes to our public financial management legislation to improve accountability and efficacy in use of public funds. To ensure fiscal sustainability, we are focusing on greater control and oversight of contingent liabilities. The enhancement to our public financial management framework will also ensure we have the teeth to better manage these liabilities. As part of this strategy, Madam Speaker, we are undertaking essential reforms in the Social Security Fund and the Public Service Pension Fund to bolster their sustainability. This includes the difficult but necessary decision to increase the contribution rates for both the Pension Fund and Social Security Fund effective the 1st of January 2024. Madam Speaker, there was a study that was done by the actuary. And the decisions that we make are based on the recommendations from the actuarial review, which showed that the pension fund, that is the Public Service Pension Fund, would be depleted by 2028, a mere 4 years from now, Madam Speaker. And the Social Security Fund would be depleted by 2037. And so we realized that increasing the contribution rates, in fact, the government of Anguilla started increasing its contribution rates for the Public Service Pension Fund started 2 years ago. And now it's recommended that Social Security, the fund be increased, the contribution be increased to 1% over a 4-year term at 0.25% per year starting in January of 2024. We recognize that this adjustment may impact the income of contributors, Madam Speaker, a decision we did not make lightly, but we affirm the necessity of this measure given the actuarial reports. And actuarial reports are mandated to be done every 3 years, Madam Speaker. This step is crucial to ensure the longevity of these funds and to prevent a scenario where taxpayers would be required to bear the financial burden, given that both of those funds have a liability that is on the consolidated fund if they are not maintained. Our commitment is to safeguard the future security and welfare of our people while maintaining fiscal responsibility. Madam Speaker, these strategic initiatives and investments underscore our commitment to building a safer, more progressive, and sustainable Anguilla, ensuring prosperity and well-being for all of our people. The 2024 budget fiscal summary. Madam Speaker, before I do that, I'd just like to say that also coming in 2024 is a fiscal incentives bill for tax concessions and incentives for both local and foreign investors to grow the Anguilla economy. And that, Madam Speaker, will determine how duty-free concessions are given and how other incentives are given to locals and foreign investors, Madam Speaker. But let me now turn to the crux of the matter today, the numbers that will chart our course for the coming year. Our approach is not just about balancing budgets, but about empowering communities and ensuring that the benefits of growth and progress filter throughout our island. So, Madam Speaker, bear in mind that these numbers are tools in our mission to build a more prosperous and inclusive Anguilla. For the upcoming fiscal year, the Minister of Finance projects total revenue of $407 million, I don't, there's silence, Madam Speaker. Everybody went home. Where's Mr. Winston? He reached in his pocket and we got another 7-point-something million. Madam Speaker, I'll repeat that. For the upcoming fiscal year, the Minister of Finance projects total revenue of $407 million. That has never been projected before, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much. Of which recurrent revenue is $404 million, including $309.65 million from taxes and $94.36 million in non-tax revenue. Now, that is not all from the goods and service tax, Madam Speaker, in case persons are not aware. I'm sure we'll hear that next week, Wednesday. From taxes on income, profits, and capital gains, which is the bank deposit levy and the Anguilla gross revenue tax, we anticipate $5.8 million. Taxes on payroll and workforce encompassing the universal social levy is expected to generate revenue of $21.3 million. In taxes on property, which sees the residential component removed from the property tax in 2024, we are forecasting a lowered collection of $7.57 million. For taxes on goods and services, which includes the goods and service tax, is expected to yield $212.51 million. Lastly, taxes on international trade and transactions, which are primarily customs duties, is anticipated to bring in $62.46 million. Madam Speaker, the forecasted revenue from grants or receipts of approximately $2.98 million from the European Union in support of the EDF 11 Regional Resembid Program, supporting our ongoing projects in the areas of sustainable energy, marine diversity, and resilience. We are also happy to confirm the extension to this program to September of 2025. This, along with the Green Overseas thematic program that sees us collaborating with all the overseas territories in the areas of energy transition, climate change resilience, and access to climate finance, signals the end of a long, fruitful, and respectful partnership with the European Union. That is one of the casualties of Brexit, Madam Speaker. But the hope is that we will continue to work with our Caribbean brothers and sisters who are also overseas territories of the Netherlands and France. This strong revenue performance is underpinned by continued efforts to improve tax efficiency as well as through leveraging the .ai domain more effectively. By establishing a stronger management framework for that asset, we anticipate generating increased and sustained revenue streams for the government of Anguilla. Our recurrent expenditure is estimated at $278.94 million. This includes $109.19 million for employee compensation, $69.78 million for goods and services, $71.84 million for grants, along with allocations for other expenses, subsidies, interest payments, and social benefits. We project a significant recurrent surplus of approximately $125 million, which will therefore support an expansive capital investment program. The total capital expenditure is estimated at $104.43 million, which includes $75 million to commence the next phase of airport development. That will be the runway expansion, Madam Speaker. We are committing $75 million. Total amortization is anticipated to be $38.27 million, split between domestic and foreign debts. The overall balance is expected to be a deficit of $14.65 million, including amortization. To support our expenditure, we intend to draw down on reserves of approximately $25 million. The budget allocations for 2024 are detailed as follows. Ministry of Finance and Health, $118.62 million. Recurrent, $118.05. Capital, $0.56 million, which is 31% of the total budget, 3% change from the prior year. Of this total, Key areas of new capital expenditure include various activities to support the functioning of the laboratory, operating theater, and pharmacy at the Princess Alexandra Hospital and other clinics. And this also includes some upgrades for the MRI machine, Madam Speaker. The Ministry of Social Development, $72.83 million with a recurrent of $65.30 million, capital $7.53 million, 19% of the total budget, which is negative 8% change from last year. Of this total, we have increases in the recurrent allocation going to operationalize the new campus, now known as Campus Q, or campus rolling, as the minister would say. Areas of new expenditure, in addition to sporting development, includes redevelopment works at the Vivian Vanderpool Primary School and the construction of the technical block at the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School to support the growth of and development in construction trades, auto mechanics, and agriculture. The Minister of Infrastructure, $121.63 million, recurrent of $33.35 million, capital $88.28 million, 32% of the total budget, which is 181% change from prior year. Of this total, areas of new capital expenditure include the airport development, commencement of works to replace the water distribution network. We also have increased allocations to the Anguilla Fire and Rescue Service to ensure we continue to meet regulatory requirements for airport operations, as well as allocations for consultancy in the ministry for key areas such as energy and water resource management. The Ministry of Sustainability, Innovation, and the Environment, $18.28 million, with a recurrent of $15.66 million, capital $2.6 million, which is 5% of the total budget, with a 5% change from prior year. Of this total, areas of key expenditure include the continuation of the Anguilla Labor Force Survey and the Household Income and Expenditure Survey, both of which support the planning and design of policies and initiatives for employment, education, training, and poverty reduction. A key pillar of our strategy is digital transformation. We are also significantly improving the resourcing of DITES with allocations for new human resources as well as enhanced technology applications. By strengthening DITES, we are not only enhancing our government's digital capabilities, but also ensuring that Anguilla remains at the forefront of technological advancement, ready to meet the demands of the future and secure a prosperous, digitally fluent society. The Ministry of Home Affairs, $14.4 million, recurrent of $9.95 million, a capital $4.45 million, 4% of the total budget, and a 66% change from prior year. Of this total, areas of key expenditure include land acquisition payments to support the implementation of past and future infrastructure projects, as well as enhanced resourcing of our Labor Department to monitor compliance with our enhanced labor laws. I see the Single Island Wide member, Mr. Kenneth Hodge, is checking to make sure I got the numbers correct. Did I get them correct, Minister? Thank you. You know, he's also checking the minimum wage to see if he qualifies. Portfolio of the Governor, $37.61 million, with a recurrent of $36.61 million, capital $1 million, 10% of the total budget, and 18% change from prior year. Of this total, key areas of new expenditure include planning for the implementation of advanced surveillance systems and significant increases in the personnel complement of the Royal Anguilla Police Force to support their comprehensive functioning and to fulfill their mandate for security operations. There is also an increased allocation to the Department of Public Administration to conduct the comprehensive review of the public sector, including job grading and compensation. As we move forward, let us bear in mind that the true measure of this budget will not be found in fiscal summaries, but in the tangible improvements it brings to the lives of our people. It is in the classrooms where our children's minds are nurtured, in the robust infrastructure that supports our daily endeavors, and in the strengthened safety nets that protect our most vulnerable. Madam Speaker, esteemed members of this House, and the resilient people of Anguilla, and those in the gallery who have listened to me so attentively and have applauded when they needed to, and sometimes when prodded to, I shared with you a vision that transcends generations and spans the realms of innovation, education, and empowerment. Anguilla's blueprint, harnessing technology, empowering tomorrow's leaders, and building the future. Madam Speaker, this speaks to the heart of this Anguilla Progressive Movement administration and our commitment to progress, resilience, and building a brighter future. I stand before this honorable House filled with a profound sense of purpose and optimism. Madam Speaker, I am charged and motivated by my colleagues and the diligent public officers. Together, we are the architects of an Anguilla reimagined. Thank you. Madam Speaker, just a few years ago, the Anguilla Progressive Movement administration faced the uncharted waters of global challenges and a dismal local forecast of a suspended constitution as closed borders and no reserves, and the COVID-19 created a storm that would shake the core of any experienced captain. The torrents of time was successfully navigated by sheer will, resolve, faith, God's grace, and an unwavering commitment to see change, chance, and opportunity work in the favor of the people of this great land. Madam Speaker, I'm proud to be that captain that has steered us thus far. Madam Speaker, even though we may have lost a member along the way, I have a team, Madam Speaker, that stands steadfast, that knows when the waves are high and the winds are rough, when to tack, Madam Speaker, when to stay away from the shoals, Madam Speaker, when to make sure that we buoy each other up, Madam Speaker, and rely on the great master to guide us and to take this country safely home. And lest we forget, Madam Speaker, the horizon was shaded with doubt, overcast by mountain debt, and the winds of change fought against the cold front, no pun on front, Madam Speaker, of this fiscal mismanagement, failing systems, and crumbling infrastructure. But today we sail on. The worst of the storm is behind us. Our vessel is trimmed by the collective strides we have made as a new day beams over the horizon. Madam Speaker, we have revitalized with hope and hear the joy in the renewed plans of our people who stand ready to greet a new Anguilla. An Anguilla where the pulse gives life to economic resilience, social inclusivity, and unwavering fiscal responsibility. Madam Speaker, I stand ready at the tiller to continue this, Madam Speaker, if the people of Anguilla would so choose. And I'm sure that this team that is with me, Madam Speaker, who have been toughened over the last 3.5 years, Madam Speaker, who have endured, Madam Speaker, trials, tribulations, sometimes being forsaken by the ones they love most, Madam Speaker, but we still sail on. Madam Speaker, I heard that today we were going to be putting sweeteners in this budget so that we can call the next election early. Madam Speaker, with confidence we affirm that in an era defined by rapid technological advancements, we will not be left behind, and the people of Anguilla will not be left behind, because this administration stands in the gap to ensure that we leave this land better than we met it, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I will lead this movement with the members of this team that are with me. And we have set trends in the region, Madam Speaker. You heard someone said earlier, minimum wage is now the important thing on everybody's mind when they give their budget speeches. Others have taken on the projects that we have talked about and are now adapting them in their countries, Madam Speaker, even in the independent countries. And we have members, Madam Speaker, that perform on a world stage. Madam Speaker, our minister leads the overseas territories at COP28. Madam Speaker, we talked about airport resurfacing and expansion in now Cayman Islands and Turks and Caicos Islands, and Montserrat are talking about airports. The BVI are talking about expanding the airport, Madam Speaker. And because we had American Airlines come in 2021, they have now reached out and have American Airlines come in to Beef Island and Tortola. Madam Speaker, we are leading in the region. And that's what Anguilla is. Anguilla begins with A, and that means that we should be at the top. We were the gems of the Caribbean. We fell down. We hurt ourselves, but we are back up, Madam Speaker, and we are running like John L. Hughes to the finish line, Madam Speaker. Number one in the world. Amen. Preach it. We'll be making an altar call soon, Madam Speaker, because we will be asking the people of Anguilla to once again take that step, to once again give us that opportunity so we can continue what we have started, Madam Speaker, with their help and with the help of God. And so the Anguilla's blueprint begins with a concerted effort to embrace technology and the expertise of our people as a catalyst for change. Digital transformation is not just an option, it is the driving force. Our commitment to harnessing technology will not only revolutionize our developmental trajectory, but will produce empowered youth, the custodians of our tomorrow, ensuring that their future is as bright as their potential. President Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, "We cannot always build a future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future." We have outlined significant investments in our physical and digital infrastructure, education, healthcare, public safety, and environmental sustainability. These investments are not mere expenditures. They are the seeds of future growth and prosperity. By focusing on areas such as airport development, road upgrades, and advancements in digital technology, we are laying down the foundations for a more connected, efficient, and resilient Anguilla. Our emphasis on education and youth development is particularly crucial, Madam Speaker. By nurturing our young minds and investing in their future, we are ensuring that Anguilla's tomorrow is in capable hands. We progress to a society where continuous education is not just encouraged, but is woven into the fabric of our culture. A culture of learning and development will ensure that our citizens not only remain agile and adaptable in the face of evolving technologies, but are also equipped to contribute wherever they choose to spread their wings internationally. They will become the best that they can be in a global society, Madam Speaker. Prudent fiscal management policies we have adopted, especially considering the fluctuating nature of revenue streams like the data AI domain registrations, reflect our understanding of the need for a balanced and sustainable approach to economic growth. By focusing on diversifying our revenue sources and managing expenditures wisely, we are ensuring that Anguilla remains financially stable and resilient in the face of global economic uncertainties. Moreover, the strategic reforms in public administration, in law enforcement, and governance underscore our commitment to building a society that is not only efficient and progressive, but also just and equitable. Our legislative initiatives, particularly in areas such as consumer protection, labor laws, and environmental conservation, demonstrate our dedication to protecting and empowering our people. Madam Speaker, we are rewriting the Anguillan story. Though previous years were marked by dark days as the beacon of potential flickered out, our people chose to look up and not hang our heads. We face these adversities head-on, fortified by our faith. It is for this reason that this administration will continue to remain resolute in the pursuit of an Anguilla current and future generations deserve and our forebears dreamed of, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, our narrative continues to be one of ebbs and flows. It is one of triumph over trials. It is one of smooth sailing once we stay the course and stay on the ship. Our economy, once beleaguered by external shocks and internal challenges, now stands as a testament to our prudent and diligent stewardship. Madam Speaker, we have embraced our collective responsibility to nurture a society that is inclusive and compassionate. And it is in this spirit of unity and shared purpose that we have redefined what it means to be a modern, progressive society. Our achievements are widespread and deeply felt, reaching into the heart of every community across our cherished island, from the vibrant streets of the valley to the serene shores of Meads Bay, from the dynamic developments in South Hill to the tranquil vistas of the East, Madam Speaker. Our achievements continue to be lauded, Madam Speaker. We will see the fruits of progress in every facet of our society. The entrepreneur who has expanded their enterprise, the educator who harnesses technology to inspire young minds, and the aspiring scholar who embarks on their academic journey with the aid of our educational initiatives. Madam Speaker, Anguilla continues to rise and will rise continuously, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone on the government side for the work that they have done throughout this past year and for the vision that they have shown looking into the next year, Madam Speaker. I almost said and beyond, Madam Speaker, but that would be stealing it from somebody else, so I don't want to use that, Madam Speaker. I'd also like to thank the Deputy Governor, Madam Speaker, and the Attorney General for being there to ensure that we are guided in the right legal matters and also in governance, Madam Speaker. Thank you. But, Madam Speaker, I'd like to extend my deepest gratitude to you, Madam Speaker, for the way you manage this honorable House, to your clerk and your staff, Madam Speaker. Because I know sometimes it's not easy. I'd like to give thanks also to the opposition members, Madam Speaker, for keeping us to task. Thank you. And I'd like to give my gratitude to the ministries and departments for their invaluable contributions to the preparation of this budget address, Madam Speaker. I'd also like to thank our Public Relations Officer, Mr. Ivan Connor, because he helps to get this out to the public, Madam Speaker, because sometimes we can have flowery speeches and if it doesn't get to the people, then it doesn't mean anything. Thank you, Ivan. I want to specifically, Madam Speaker, acknowledge the tireless work and unwavering commitment of the staff of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development. Their expertise and hard work behind the scenes have been instrumental in bringing both this budget and today's address to fruition. Together, we have worked diligently to create a budget that reflects our collective vision for Anguilla's progress and prosperity. I want to thank them all for their outstanding dedication and service. But, Madam Speaker, it would be remiss of me to not thank my Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Mrs. Kathleen Rogers. Madam Speaker, she works tirelessly and without recognition for the work that she does and for the wisdom and guidance that she gives, not only to me as the minister that is lucky enough to work under her, but to the rest of us in this administration. And this is her last budget, Madam Speaker, as she retires in 2024. I wish we could keep her, Madam Speaker. She will be missed. And Madam Speaker, I hope that in whatever capacity, whatever she chooses to do after she leaves the post, that she'll continue to serve this nation as passionately, as caringly, and as vigilantly as she does, Madam Speaker. So I'd like for us to give a round of applause through you, Madam Speaker, to my permanent secretary, Kathleen Rice. Thank you very much. I know she'll be back in some capacity, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, the foundation of our progress lies in the strength of our alliances, both at home and with our global partners. And I mentioned earlier our partners with Project Inspire. Also talked about the school feeding program, which is a vital initiative that nourishes the bodies and minds of our young learners. My profound appreciation goes to our international partners, especially United Kingdom, Madam Speaker, for their continued support and shared vision for a prosperous Anguilla. We recently saw the joint declaration which came out yesterday, which talks about deepening that relationship, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to, at this time, to thank the former Minister for the Overseas Territories, Lord Zach Goldsmith, for the Blue Belt program, which is now initiated in Anguilla, but also for organizing the fundraiser in London to rebuild the Cricket Players Pavilion at the James Onresta Park. Madam Speaker, we continue to be part of this partnership with the United Kingdom, and we look forward to one where there's a deepened partnership, one that not only sustains but also empowers us as a people, fostering resilience and moving us beyond the need for mere assistance to enabling self-reliance and sustained growth. We seek not just a handout, Madam Speaker, but a hand up so that we can be financially independent, and at some time along this journey that we can be politically independent also, Madam Speaker. We want to lift ourselves, Madam Speaker, towards greater heights of independence and prosperity for the people of Anguilla who had that promise made to them many, many years ago, and who may have lost sight of the goal, Madam Speaker, but we, this administration, will not lose sight of the goal that the people of Anguilla aspire to, Madam Speaker. And so, Madam Speaker, as we forge ahead, our blueprint for a technologically advanced, leader-empowering, and future-building Anguilla becomes ever more vivid. Madam Speaker, we continue to chart a course of sustainable growth, a path lit by the brilliance of innovation. And Madam Speaker, I want to thank my ministerial assistant, Courtney Morton. And he, Madam Speaker, helped to design and is one of the architects on the new Players Pavilion, Cricket Players Pavilion. He's also helped to design a new cultural center at Lancer Bowlands. So even though I keep him busy in finance, he finds the time to commit himself to help in on these other projects. In fact, I hear now he's going to be on the Summer Festival 50 committee, Madam Speaker. Maybe he'll write a calypso for me to sing, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we can't forget our Parliamentary Secretary, the member for Road North, who, Madam Speaker, has led and chaired the Gun Crime and Violence Committee, producing a report, Madam Speaker, which I think is stellar, and with the recommendations, Madam Speaker, can only make us better. I want to thank him for his diligent service and certainly filling in when your shoes are hard to fill, Madam Speaker. But he did a great job when you were absent to lead this honorable House and chair. Thank you. I still want to challenge him at basketball, but he said I can't move up the court, Madam Speaker. So maybe we'll do American football. I'm more fit for that, I think. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the gallery for being here and for certainly their support today. It doesn't matter which side they vote on and what color they represent, Madam Speaker. It's just good to know that the people of Anguilla care enough that they show up. And that's what you have to do. You have to show up. That's what we want. Of course, we can't forget our chaplain, Madam Speaker, and certainly our Sergeant at Arms. I checked my phone 3 times to make sure it's not on. Yes. Madam Speaker, in closing, I'm imbued with a sense of humble pride and boundless optimism. I am humbled, Madam Speaker, to stand in this position. And I don't take it lightly, Madam Speaker, because I could not be here without God's mercy and without the support of the people of District 1. And so I'd like to thank the people of District 1 for giving me this opportunity to represent them thus far, and hope that they will see it within themselves to give me the opportunity to reach out some more, and they give us this chance to continue this journey which we've started for an Anguilla reimagined. And this administration, Madam Speaker, with the grace and guidance of the Almighty, will continue to shepherd our island towards a horizon of endless possibilities. We stand united, ready to embrace the changes that beckon, confident in our ability to be the architects of our destiny. Together, we are shaping an Anguilla that is not just reimagined, but reborn. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that a bill shortly entitled A Bill for Appropriation 2024, Act 2023, be read a second time. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Island Harbor. The debate for the Appropriations Bill 2024 Act 2023 will begin on Wednesday, the 20th of December. I am wondering what time you would like to set, if it's 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. 9? Is 9 acceptable to everyone? So, yes, 9 is acceptable. So on Wednesday, 20th December at 10 a.m. I'm sorry, at 9 a.m. I'm so used to the 10 a.m. 9 a.m. We'll be back here for the debate on the appropriation bill. Continue.
Private members' bills? None. Private bills? None. Other orders of the day? Adjournment?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to beg that this Honorable House be adjourned until Wednesday, the 20th of December, 2023, at 9 a.m.
Madam Speaker, I rise a second.
It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable House now stands adjourned until December 20th at 9 a.m. Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. This Honorable House now stands adjourned until December 20th at 9 a.m. Thank you, members. Thank you all. Have a good evening.